Hello everyone, I'm Sir Stacks-A-Lot, and welcome to the channel. And Friday's episode of Making Sense of History, where you take a journey and see history as I see it through a coin. Now, that is a sneak peek at one of next week's episodes, where I will take you to 118 BC ancient China. But today's episode is about this coin right here. Silver. Well, if I can grab it. This is an 800-year-old silver coin from Ancona, Italy, and the Crusades. Yeah, very cool. Let me zoom in on this for you guys. All right, here we go. This is a silver coin. Don't know the exact content. I don't know if anybody knows the exact content, because they weren't all that great at refining silver back then, though this is pretty good. On here you can see a little bit of copper right there. So definitely not quite as refined as we have today, though it's probably close to the I don't know, 80%, 90% mark, somewhere between there. It's a beautiful coin. You see the Templar cross there. This was Ancona, Italy. I'm going to take you to the 13th century. This is a 13th century dinar from the Crusades in Ancona, Italy, where it was minted. Now, the Crusades in Italy started around the time of King Henry IV, and when he took the reins as king and emperor of Rome, Holy Roman Emperor in 1059 AD. The church was pretty tired of being pushed around by Holy Roman emperors, and felt that all bishops and popes should be appointed within the church according to their holiness. And the emperor did not see it that way traditionally. The Roman emperors felt like, as emperor, they were the holiest, and they should appoint the bishops and popes and have full control over that. And the church didn't like that, understandably, with any religion. Probably would not like that, an outsider appointing their religious leaders. So that didn't go very well, and while he was an infant, before he got old enough to do anything, the church decided to draw up the Gregorian reform named after Pope Gregory. Now, this reform was to take back investiture of bishops, which was the appointment of bishops and popes. And in a way, this has a lot to do with how the United States is designed today, with the separation of church and state. Though even back then it didn't quite make it to a complete separation in church and state. It was more of a partial separation, with still a little bit of intent to have your own empire. And so the church started the Gregorian reform, and that really started it. Now, fast forward a couple hundred years later, because that happened around 1059, we get up to now, Ancona, Italy, in 1000 AD had won their independence from the Holy Roman Church, as well as the papacy, which is the Pope's empire. But in 1100 AD, they started minting their own coins, like you see here, though this one was minted during the Crusades in the 13th century, which is 1200s. For any of you that are young. And there was a So the Ancona, Italy, where this was minted, was a pretty big struggle because it was one of the biggest ports in Italy, and probably one of the most important ports of the area. It got goods and pilgrims to and from all over the Mediterranean and Europe, as well as helped launch crusades and other things. And you can see here, there's a Templar cross here. There's a Templar cross there. And a little bit of recognition of their Roman background. You can see a very familiar C and an S right here. But definitely supportive of the papacy. Now, the supporters of the papacy in the city were called Guelphs. They supported the Pope. And the non-supporters, the supporters of the Holy Roman Emperor, were the Ghibellines. In this particular city, it was heavily supportive of the Pope. Now, Crusades were fought in and around the city, and actually the city, though they never attacked anyone, they were always defenders, and they had actually pushed back the Roman Emperor's army 3 times, which is pretty powerful thing to do when you're just a small little, I want to say it was probably the size of the District of Columbia today, or somewhere close to it. So that's pretty impressive to push back the Holy Roman Emperor's army. They were, like I said, more supportive of the Pope, though they did not want to be under the Pope's rule. They never did, and I don't believe they ever fell directly under the Pope's rule. They liked their independence, and they stayed independent till the 1500s. And I believe they did fall under papacy. I'll have to look that up. My memory's a little bit skewed at the moment. Look at that. That's such a beautiful coin. 800 years old. Very, very, very cool. But this coin is almost certainly seen a lot of violence. Pretty interesting. Who held this coin? Any Knights Templars? Almost certainly. Knights Templars would have been in and out of the city, doing relations. They were very good at politics. The Templar were. Now, when we talk about the Crusades, not all of the Crusades involved were spearheaded by the Templar, though almost all of them had Templar involvement of some sort, whether it was funding or some combatants afforded to the crusade of whatever king. So when we talk about the Crusades and the Knights Templar, the Knights Templar were key involvement in the Crusades. They weren't always directly involved. But in the case of the Italy Crusades, they were very directly involved because it was right in the middle of the papacy's areas of interest, and as well as the papacy himself. So he would have had Templars nearby at pretty much all time. I cannot read the writing. I would have to look it up to translate it for you, which I should have done that. I kind of regret not doing it. This is just a beautiful coin. I like this one. Now, every Monday and Friday is Making Sense of History. Wednesday is Silver Stacking, and I'm going to start including a new program on Thursdays showing off ancient relics and things that I have like that, and telling you historical stories about them. I have some really, really cool and exciting stuff to show you guys. So that'll be about twice a month on the second and fourth Thursday of the month. I will be doing that. So not every week. My channel will primarily be silver, gold, and coins. But these are all my passions: history, coins, silver and gold. Like I've mentioned before, this is a way for me to escape and you know, really dive into my passions. And I hope I can take you guys with me, because it really is fun for me, and I really enjoy it, and it's very exciting, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much, or almost as much, as I do. Alright guys, that's it for today. Get you one last look at this coin, and last look at this one. And what the heck, I'll even show off a little bit of silver too before I head out. This is so far what I've grabbed this year, so since January. Alright guys, well, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and stay healthy, stay safe, and in good spirits. Sir Sax-a-Lot out.